What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel, or welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Ethan Horror, this is Ethan Horror, and today we are back with a brand new episode of my Halloween Spooktacular. Today is day 2, episode 2, and today we are going to be doing my top 10 killer reveals. Can you tell I was running out of ideas? It basically just anytime we get like a revelation on who the killer is. Scream is really well known for their great killer reveals, where at the end they reveal who Ghostface is. So there are some of them on this list. I tried not to just, have all the Scream movies take up all 10 spots, but they take up, I think, 3 maybe. So they are pretty good at those. But otherwise it is other movies just revealing the killer. It's always a good scene, usually a plot twist in the movie. So we're going to be going through my top 10. And you guys want to know a fun fact? I haven't cut my hair since the last Halloween Spooktacular. You want proof? Let's look. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Ethan Horror. This is Ethan Horror, and today, yeah, I have it. Yeah, it's gotten a little long. But let's just get right into the video because we got 10 to go through. Episode 2, my Halloween Spooktacular.
I want to play a game.
Here's Johnny!
This is God. It's showtime.
But it brings us to our current suspects. Ethan.
Coming in at number 10 is going to be one from the Scream movies, and it is from Scream 6. I have Quinn's reveal. This should have gone without saying, but there are intense spoiler warnings for all 10 movies on this list, so I'll say the movie first, so you have a chance to skip if you want. But yes, Quinn, I think, has one of the best killer reveals in Scream because it was one of the ones that genuinely shocked me. Sometimes it's like, oh, okay, it's just that guy. But this time it was like, oh my god, it was her, because you assume she was dead because of the previous scene where, she died, and we all thought that that was just the end of the character. But it was actually a pretty well done reveal, and was probably the most shocking reveal of the movie. I don't mind any of the reveals in Scream 6. I think all the killers are pretty good, but I think this is certainly the standout because of how shocking it was. Coming in at number 9, I have Bodies, 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 and guess what? Killer reveal is that there is not a killer. That is, technically shouldn't be on the list, but it's funny. That is the funniest way to end this horror comedy, because, it's a whodunit, who's the killer, who's been doing this the whole time, until you get to the end and you realize there is no killer and these people are just idiots. Because Pete Davidson just accidentally killed himself, and then the lady accidentally fell down the stairs. They killed the guy out of suspicion, and then the other two were just shot in fights. So, you just go through and you're like, oh, yeah, no, that makes sense. And I just think it's the perfect, hilarious way to end this very funny movie. I think Bodies, Bodies, Bodies is very good and very funny, and this is a perfect ending. Coming in at number 8, I have the killer reveal from Happy Death Day, and that is Laurie, I believe is her name. If it's not, I will flash it on screen. If there's nothing on screen, then I got it right. So, yeah, the killer reveal kind of seems like a nice way to wrap up the story, because, you get the whole thing, the whole time you're wondering who's the killer, who's not the killer, and you're going through and you're eliminating all these different suspects. And I believe, it's actually been a while since I've seen Happy Death Day, but I believe you eliminate Laurie early on because you're like, oh, it can't be her. But then the reveal where she thinks she finally made it through the night and she finally is going to win, and then she wakes up the next morning and it's the same thing, and you're like, what happened? And just that reveal that, oh my god, it's because she ate the cupcake. That is the perfect, because a twist is good when you don't have to spell it out, and they don't spell it out to you until, once you've already figured it out that, like, oh my god, it's because she didn't eat the cupcake any of the other days. So her being a bad person actually helped her a little bit. And it's a funny reveal, and it's a good reveal, and I think it certainly adds to the movie. Coming in at number 7, I have Sleepaway Camp. Now, I am one of the few people that doesn't actually love the original Sleepaway Camp. I think it's very funny and campy, and I get what they're doing, and I get why everyone enjoys it, but it's not for me. But the ending reveal is actually a pretty good reveal, and it's probably my favorite part of the movie. It is Angela, obviously. I'm pretty sure all of you guys have seen Sleepaway Camp. Yeah. If you've seen Sleepaway Camp, you know this reveal. You know the reveal. Yeah. It's certainly shocking, and the twist is completely unnecessary, but it adds to the movie. I'll give it that. It adds to the movie. Because in the end, they reveal that not only is Angela the one that's been killing people, Angela is a boy. And they do that in a less than PG way. Let's just say that. And move on to the next one. Coming in at number 6, I have the killer reveal from Trick or Treat. Now, there are a few killer reveals with, the reveal of the vampire. You get, I guess even the kids in the swamp, you get that reveal, but I'm going with the werewolf girls, because the entire time you're going through thinking like, oh, these are just normal girls, and they're going to end up being victims to the vampire guy. But then the vampire guy turns out to be the principal, and then he is now the victim of the girls who turn into werewolves. And I think the werewolf scene where they're all turning into werewolves, I think that's a great part of the movie, and it really adds to it. Trick or Treat's one of my favorite horror movies of all time, so obviously I love pretty much everything this movie does, but this scene is particularly great because it completely shocks you and just goes against what you thought was going to happen, and it's a nice plot twist, and it's not even like, and it's like the midway point of the movie, so I really like that part. Number 5, I went with another Scream reveal. We have, surprise, Sydney, Stu Macher's reveal. I could also go with Billy's reveal. They are kind of the same thing, but I like Stu's reveal a little bit more than Billy's, because Billy, let's be honest, who was really surprised it was him? But Stu, on the other hand, he's the comic relief character. You don't expect him to be the psychopath in the end, but it's just after, Billy has the gun, he's quoting Anthony Perkins, and then Sydney goes to run into the kitchen and bumps into Stu, and it's like, oh my god, help me, Stu. And then just when he pulls out the voice modulator and says, surprise, Sydney, that is one of the best scenes of the movie, and one of the best, most iconic killer reveals of all time. It's hard to find a horror fan who doesn't know that quote or doesn't love Stu Macher and Matthew Lillard, so I really think this is one of the best killer reveals of not only the franchise, but of all time. Coming in at number 4, I could have gone with the original Saw, but I am going to go with Saw 2. Just because it's a little bit more shocking. You don't know who Jigsaw is going to be in the original, and it ends up to be the dead body on the floor. But in Saw 2, you don't expect there to be a reveal. You just expect it to be, oh, it's Jigsaw again. But no, there was an inside man the entire time who was inside the trap and was also in the previous movie. Amanda Young. That is a great twist, because you don't expect a twist. It's a great way to add to a sequel and make it better. And that's why, honestly, why Saw 2 is one of my favorite Saw movies, because it improves upon the original while still keeping that same magic that the original had, but it improves upon it, throws in some unexpected twists, like Amanda being Jigsaw's apprentice, and I think just makes Saw 2 a really enjoyable movie, and, gives us Amanda Young as a villain who is great in Saw 3, and even in Saw X, so good to have her. Number 3, don't worry, this is the last Scream reveal on the list. I have the reveal from Scream 4, And no, I'm not talking about Charlie, because that, he's horrible. I'm talking about Jill Roberts, because this is, for me, the most shocking killer reveal in Scream. I know a lot of people, like, say they saw it coming. Maybe you did. But I did not. I did not see this coming, because it kind of seems like it was going to do what Scream 5 did, where it was like a passing of the torch movie to these younger characters, where, you know, the older Sydney and Gail and Dewey were kind of going to get, like, pushed to the sideline and focus on these new characters. And then it turns out, like, the main character, who would be the final girl, is actually the villain, and she's even related to Sydney. I think just her reveal is a great part of the movie, and also just the fact that she ends up winning in the end. She is a great Ghostface, and she's a great horror villain as a whole. She's my favorite Ghostface. You can go check out my Ghostface ranking video. I ranked all the Ghostfaces, so you can go check that out. But this is my favorite reveal. She is my favorite Ghostface, and it's my number 3 killer reveal of all time. Coming in at number 2 is not from a movie I actually love, but I do love this killer reveal. Coming in at number 2, we have Malignant. Now, I know a lot of people didn't care for Malignant. They actually hated it. I thought it was great. I saw exactly what James Wan was doing and thought that Malignant was a enjoyable movie, not an absolute masterpiece by any means, but it was enjoyable. And part of the reason is because of the killer reveal, Gabriel. Now, Gabriel is not a person that, you know, just takes off a mask and reveals. The reveal is that, what's the main girl's name? I need to figure that out. What's the main girl's name? Madison. It's revealed that Madison has had Gabriel on the back of her head the whole time. Like, beneath her hair, that's Gabriel. And that is just such an insane and wild reveal and twist that this movie, it honestly makes this movie a lot better for me and makes it one of the best killer reveals of all time, because like, that concept alone is terrifying, but, you know, it's not really played super seriously. This movie is kind of playing it all for laughs, and that is certainly an insane, absurd concept that the killer has been on the back of her head the whole time, and honestly makes for a pretty great horror villain, because Gabriel, when he's controlling her, like, he looks pretty creepy, and he is very effective for, you know, running backwards and doing everything backwards, but I think it looks pretty good, and that's my number 2 killer reveal of all time. Coming in at number 1, however, you can argue that there are 15 different reveals in this movie that could make the list, but I decided to go with the blood test reveal from The Thing, because, you know, some people probably won't consider The Thing like an actual killer reveal, but there is multiple reveals in this movie where someone is revealed as The Thing, so I'm considering that a reveal. And the blood test is going to be my favorite reveal of the movie. I tried to limit it to 1 for this movie, because otherwise there would be like 5. Because, you know, there's the scene they're trying to restart his heart, and, you know, the belly opens up and bites his hands, which is also a good reveal. And then you also have, like, because that whole scene where he, like, turns into the giant thing and then the head crab, that could have very well made the list, but I decided to go with the blood test, because that is a great jump scare. It's excellent suspense work, and then it ends with, you know, him, like, starting to vibrate and shake on the chair and then turn into the Thing, and it's such a good concept that, like, yeah, of course the blood would react too. Like, these characters are so smart, but they're still so screwed because of the whole scenario that they're in with the Thing. So I think that this is one of the best jump scares, one of the best killer reveals, one of the best horror movies concepts. I love The Thing, and I think this is the best killer reveal of all time. And that is going to be it for today's video. Remember, if you did enjoy, make sure to hit like and subscribe so I know you want to see more videos like it. Otherwise, until next time, you can hit the bell notification to be notified when I post any brand new videos, and check out the other 11 episodes of my Halloween Spooktacular that have yet to come. In the previous episode, I just ranked all the Nightmare on Elm Street movies yesterday, and tomorrow I will be doing my top 10 kills in horror movie history. Otherwise, you can go check out my Halloween Spooktacular video if you want to see all the other videos I have in store for you.